So I'm here at the federal courthouse after the Lil Durk hearing, and we just had some very, very interesting information about, you know, possibly the most well-known alleged cooperator in this case, OTF Jam. Now, there was a crazy...
That shit crazy. They got witnesses, and they found out Jam was really snitching. OTF Jam, he was really telling his ass is really a rat.
Back and forth, where they brought up a bunch of things about Jam. They said that the song Back Again was going to be used, and I'm not going to lie, I was happy to hear that because that's like one of my favorite songs.
Facts. Before I let him finish, let's see why Back Again would be used. Blast his ass. I don't even ask when it comes to cash. They catch him, blast his ass. Jam, get out there, Jam.
What's up, man? Let's get into this shit. I don't know when he come. Hey, shout out that butt tiny Jake. You know that.
I gave him 50 and gotta ask again. He was catching murders way back then. That's when the max was in. Let's break this down, right? Now, allegedly, blast his ass. I don't even ask when it come to cash. They catch him, blast his ass. This is supposed to be in reference to none other than FBG Cash, who was very close with FBG Duck and all of the guys associated with that side. Cash was one of the last to die. One of the last things he did was take a picture at King Von's mural right outside of O Block, putting on Instagram, whole world witness your main sniper get his shit splack. And I mean, not long after this, Cash got killed.
After that boy poofed.
Yeah, stiff as shit. It's just a recurring event. Someone mocks the dead and then joins them. So allegedly, this was about Cash. I don't even ask when it come to Cash. They catch him, blast his ass. And how I would break that down is, it's not even a question. If you see him, kill him. Jam, get out there, Jam. I gave him 50, ain't gotta ask again. He was catching murders way back.
I don't know, man. Now, I don't condone none of this.
Then that's when the max was in. Now this is a throwback story post of Lil Durk saying, Jam, where you at, bitch? And apparently Durk gave OTF Jam 50,000 in cash after he came home.
The streets. I'm talking about blood, like
that shit gonna shake.
Real family though.
You gotta let see how
real members only.
Get out there. Want to trick you out your spot shit and I tell on you. Niggas will do some shit then tell on you. Like that shit crazy, folks. That should be crazy.
Jam will give him 50, he ain't gotta ask again, bro.
Fact. I love both of them. Can't shit forever.
And then obviously saying that Jam was catching murders way back when the max was in. I mean, this is like back in the day. So he's basically alleging that OTF Jam is an old hitter, been a hitter. Jam said he loved Durk for giving him 50K when he got out. Well, we're gonna see how much he loves Durk inside of this federal courtroom, because now apparently he's gonna testify and say it all.
But obviously, you know, in that song, he talks about, you know, Jam got out that Jam, I gave him 50,000, he ain't got to ask again. Well, they're basically saying that Jam is going to testify and cooperate and say that that 50,000 that Durk gave him that he rapped about in Back Again, which bear in mind was made before King Von even died, but Jam is going to testify and say that he believes that he was given that money basically as like a, you know, as a show of loyalty to basically kind of get, you know, some kind of like future, as basically not like a prepayment, but basically like on the hopes that in future he might be able to do things for him, he might be able to slide for him. Now what's crazy is that he's allegedly gonna testify that actually when they were filming a music video, at some point, okay, this is absolutely crazy. At some point, all right, Durk and a bunch of the other members apparently confronted Jam in a bathroom. They took him into the bathroom, which is super weird, and they apparently confronted him, and they basically said, you moving too hot, you're gonna get us jammed up, you gotta be more careful about committing murders, and you're gonna get the feds on us. Now, apparently that wasn't talking about the Pab murder. Apparently there's other murders, and it sounds like he's actually going to admit to the feds that he was doing all kinds of murders that haven't even been prosecuted by the sounds of it, not even related to this murder, and that he was basically a top hitter in OTF and for the Black Disciples, and that it was really that serious, and Jam was doing all that. So Jam's name came up a couple times.
Speech that washed up is stupid.
Now, Trench's news, love him or hate him. From what I remember, it came out that he was like a paid informant from Chicago.
Yeah, Trench knows.
And he was really around a lot.
Trench knows that's right. That's Mickey Mouse. Phone Craig.
Lot of people, you know, famous people in the drill music scene. But he's saying FBG Cash was shot and killed for Lil Durk by OTF Jam, which is crazy because that means the same person testifying against Durk was literally the same one that took out Cash, and then Durk literally put it in a song. And this is the thing about these killer snitches, right? Is just because they're snitching, it doesn't mean they're not a killer.
Putting everything you do in the song, but you know you didn't. These people, why the fuck is you putting it to them? So, nigga, then they figuring the shit out what you saying for. You ain't even put it in there smart enough so motherfucker did not know. Dumb fool, just dumb gang. But I fuck with the music though.
OTF Jam, the alleged informant in Chicago rapper Lil Durk's murder for hire case, is out of jail on house arrest and daring anyone to come try him. Now, this is a story post that he put to his own Instagram, dropping an address. And he would say 30 this for, and anybody else that feel like they like that, I'm doing something Sammy the Bull didn't do. I'm dropping my own location, fresh out on house arrest. I'm trying to see who trying to get it in blood. It was a whole lot of woofing when I was in jail. Now it's time to show and prove. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, Sammy the Bull was basically John Gotti's hitman. He caught like 17 or 19 murders, snitched on John Gotti, and then barely did any time for any of the murders, right? So Jam is comparing himself to Sammy the Bull. It's crazy because we got some people from Chicago speaking out. 600 Breezy, I know Jam. If he was going to snitch, he would have snitched a long time ago.
At first there was like OTF Jam, and then you stopped hearing his name.
I know Jam personally.
Oh, really?
Like,
okay.
I never even seen you around Durk ass. You supposed to be talking about that King Yellow, and they caught your ass in the mall. And yeah, folks. What the fuck is you want to talk about this shit for? Talking about you know Jam. Okay, you know that man personally, but that don't mean his ass in the right. His ass did, he did, and knew what he did, and knew when that police came and got his ass, he was gonna tell. Ain't no way around it, folks.
So, my mom's side, that St. Life Evans, St. Lawrence, all that shit, Evans Mob, his squad, all that shit like that, where Jam is from, he would be considered my op, but he not because of my other people type shit, because he's from 79th and Vernon.
And that's why I'm gonna begin that
Jam.
you telling them, getting on the interview, Jam from my old area, dumbass things. What, fool?
I don't think Jam, if Jam was gonna snitch, he'd have been snitched on a lot of shit a long time ago. Jam's done a lot of time in jail. Jam, real nigga. Like, I took my hat to him. I ain't never seen Jam do no bitch ass shit. So when they started saying his name, I was the first nigga probably like, I don't believe that. I gotta see proof.
Another one. This is how I know Jam didn't snitch on Lil Durk. I don't believe it 100%.
Mention to him, Jam ain't had enough time out here for them to get that type of bond with Jam. So put it on Jam. Or Jam and snitch.
Have that shit right.
Have that shit. Have that shit.
He ain't no snitch and that's and that and that and that. Well, it turned out that's
Put out yet that it was a wire warrant in the case. Have the documents, the black and white, say that someone with a wire.
No, we have to check pacer.com.
No, wait, hold on. They say they got audio recordings, video recordings.
But how you know
But I
they
don't-
will say 100%. They will tell you wiretap.
Let me finish. I don't think they're being actually specific of who and what, but they are saying that they got audio.
But they will tell you 100% that is wiretap.
Now, here's the thing, right? Regardless of anyone's personal opinion, Jam might have been a stone cold killer and no one thought he was gonna snitch, whatever. They're saying in court they've identified him as the prosecutor's witness number 1 and he's gonna testify. And the thing is this, if Jam sat down with the feds, right? and he's talking to the feds, and he's gonna give them information, and he's gonna be talking about all of these things. I've never been in any federal situation, knock on wood, I don't ever want to. But from what I understand, he can't just tell about this. He has to tell about everything. Now, this is Gene Borello. He was an associate of, I believe, the Bonanno crime family, the mafia, and he cooperated, went against them. But he's gonna break down how when you snitch, when you cooperate with the federal fucking government, you can't just tell on one thing, because they're talking about a different mob guy in this video. And he's saying you can't just snitch on that. You have to tell them every single fucking crime you've ever committed. So when they give you a pass, the pass is for every single crime you've ever committed. But if you didn't tell them something and it isn't documented, that's gonna fuck you.
No, but the thing with this is, and you know, like I said, I'm fair. I just keep it real.
So
you can't sit with the government.
If you going there telling their ass, telling them some shit, and leave out, say it's 2 things, you leave some shit out, and they find out you left that shit out, they gonna come get on your butt, basically.
And just cooperate on that, especially when he has all that stuff in his past. So like when you sit down with them, they're not worried about you cooperating against those guys. They're gonna want also mafia stuff. So if he did sit with the government, with the agents, he's gonna have to tell them everything he's done in his life. That's just part of the deal. So he has to admit to everything he's done. They're not gonna just let you sit there and talk about whatever he's saying. They're gonna ask for everything you've done since you're 5 years old. That's the way it works. So when you do agree to a proffer, you have to admit to everything you've ever done in your life. That's the only thing where that's getting mixed up, you know?
So from my understanding, Jam is gonna have to sit down, or probably already has sat down with the feds and explain to them every single murder he's committed. And so he can't just be like, oh, Durk this, Durk that. No, he has to explain everything he's done, which is gonna more so prove how dangerous he is. And then he's gonna drop, yeah, this is why Durk was shouting me out. This is why Durk gave me money. This is what Durk sent me to go do. This is dangerous. Now, it also came up in court. The feds revealed Lil Durk was mad at 6ix9ine and Wack 100 for trolling him about not sliding for Vaughn. And the interview was a major motivation for him to really slide. Federal prosecutors brought up the 6ix9ine and Wack 100 interview during Lil Durk's court hearing, arguing that their viral slide for Vaughn trolling negatively affected Durk's mindset and contributed to his alleged motivation to slide for Vaughn.
Nigga that put in 10 bullets in King Vaughn and he died there by himself. Why nobody slid for that nigga? Yo, y'all want this
I'm gonna be real with you.
No.
Hold on. I discovered.
Say, yo, Durk,
Listen,
don't slap me.
I discovered King Vaughn.
No.
When
I don't
King
want to talk about
Vaughn
King Vaughn.
died. So
Why
I don't
is
know.
Durk not sliding?
Now, I feel like, of course, they're gonna throw that in there, right? 6ix9ine is the king of trolls. So it's like, of course, the feds are gonna be like, oh, you know, this pushed him even further in that direction because he didn't like the internet saying this and that, I mean, yeah, people were trolling. It was happening, and maybe it did have an effect on his mentality, you know? And just like we saw with the DJ Academics interview with Durk, he was like, yeah, I don't see people saying that shit anymore. Do you see that? And Ak was like, nah, it slowed down. So it's like, Now, not only do we have OTF Jam being a snitch, we have new documents showing that OTF Vonnie allegedly identified as protective witness number 2 in Lil Durk's case. And I mean, this came out that these two guys were the alleged snitches, and
this is why you stay out the streets.
it wasn't
This shit ain't cool at all.
necessarily confirmed, but these were the big rumors, and now it's 100% confirmed. And I mean, this is the proof here. Video depicting Banks, Vaughn, and PW2 purchasing jewelry. This was Vaughn, Durk, and Vonnie inside an icebox. So we got Durk shopping, we got Vonnie ass right here, we got Vaughn to the left. And what's crazy is if Vaughn knew he was a rat, Vaughn probably would have killed him himself. I don't even think Vaughn would have sent anybody. I think Vaughn would have did it himself, to be honest. But this video's got 6.7 million views from 7 years ago, and nobody would have known that years later, Vaughn would be dead.
7 years ago, I remember
and
that
Durk.
shit when it first came out. 7 years. Damn, shorty, it don't even feel like that long. Food great. But that's the end of the video. Shit. Make sure you come to subscribe, man. Let me know if y'all want more of these. You know these bitches coming back to like. Brr.